What's up, y'all? This is Kahl One, and I'm here with you once again for episode 3 of my Grand Theft Auto progress. So going through the whole gameplay military perspective, messing around with stealth gameplay, different types of armored vehicles, and of course some of my favorites here on the side, some tips here and there, how to survive online when you're going through a lot in a full server rather than a real small, shy server and you can start moving around stuff. So stay tuned and check it out. So some team-based gameplay with the armored vehicles, just a little bit going over it. Some armor testing with the SCHAFTER V12, the armored version specifically. The Jester, my favorite right now, the Toyota Supra, which is, everyone knows, I'm a super freak. Modding the LOTUS in the MOC, the Mobile Operations Center. Forgetting the actual name right now, but I'm going to call it what it is, the LOTUS. Exploring the MOC itself and some brief bunker usage, just to get you guys acclimated on my fresh experience. And if you're going to be going through it yourself, this is what you're looking at. Why even use armored vehicles in a session but not in another? Kind of going to discuss that, especially to do with stress. Dealing with the hellish AI system and its superior aiming, the aimbot system, even if you're doing in free aim or free aim assisted, the difficulties, and of course, oppressor griefing, dealing with these trolls. It's difficult out there, hot in the streets, and as you know, servers change. So this is the arcade right now. This is the arcade garage, and that was me getting ready to just do a, this I believe was one of the bunker missions actually. I started in the arcade and jumped into the bunker, and I've been kind of camping out in the bunker a lot more recently because first off, I need to build up the supplies. They're really valuable, especially for a lot of the gun upgrades and the vehicle upgrades that I really enjoy about the game. So the bunker is really essential, and for players like me, probably more critical than anything else. I like to mess a lot with the vehicles, but the bunker is probably some of the more difficult missions to get accomplished. They make you really exercise a lot of your skills at one time, a lot of different skills. So you have a lot of times where you'll have ground assault in this one, which is lucky for me because I love ground assault missions. But then you'll have times where you'll need to focus on popping vehicles out the sky in order to get supplies that are dropping into the water or dropping into the mountains. So you'll have to be patient at times. Patience is super key because you'll have a lot of trial and error, a lot, especially with the AI. And the closer you get to the harder levels, say with Merryweather, especially them, and the big heavy artillery enemies, it's yeah. Shithead. Now this one I definitely had to use my own custom night vision because I already knew this was going to be a dark area. Even with the flashlight, you can get surprised just out of a corner. So I'd rather be prepared up front. Ah, yeah. NIGHTSHARK and Insurgent. Now this is with me playing with some of my boys online. Me testing out the new Insurgent pickup that I finally picked up. Ha ha ha. This thing has been a godsend, along with the NIGHTSHARK, these two vehicles. You're seeing right now them with their own insurgents. That of course is the Duke of Death and a couple of my buddies online. Just causing hell in front of someone's nightclub. I don't even know who, but I was just drooling at the livery sets, as you can see, so. And those rims. But yeah, this was really fun, just having a brief military convoy. We did a lot of VIP missions here. We did a couple of runs, a couple of supply runs, a couple of drop-offs, and while everybody was able to interact, it was pretty murderous. I think someone else also had the Speedo wagon, or at least an upgraded version of it, which is one of my favorites, but it really can't take explosives at all. So I started to opt out of using that and started to go into use more of the Insurgent. It's great for a lot of the deliveries you have to do. Yeah, I believe that is, yeah, that's his custom speedo wagon with his own livery set. So damn cool. Yes, the Supra. I'm gonna be real brief. You can check out my Supra dedication video that I have online that I did some time ago. And when we get too far into it, you'll be able to experience some of that love there. There'll be a link at the bottom. You'll understand. But under normal circumstances, stay armored, stay armored, stay armored. As much as I would love to be in a fast vehicle, usually you're kind of asking for it. If you notice also, these are the VIP doubles that were happening the last week. Fortunately, it just dried up literally about today. So everybody's really hungry, so I really needed this. It was critical.
That's a beauty right there.
My new obsession, the SCHAFTER, am I pronouncing it right? The SCHAFTER and the SCHAFTER V12. I wanted something that was a nice little in-between the armored Kuruma, which is really quick, but cannot take explosives for a damn, and the NIGHTSHARK, which is pretty quick, but really heavy and doesn't have, well, it has awesome defense, but not much offense. This car obviously has no offense, but it's kind of an in-between. Plus, of course, I like the styling because it's a Mercedes. And it can take, I believe, some explosives, I'm not exactly sure. But with the armored version anyway, which I ended up picking up after checking this one out just as a quick test, you're pretty well protected and looks pretty stylish and classy, so I had to get it. Yeah, there's so many different customizing options you can have. Certain little things I still wish you could have, but for a GTA game and not like a racing sim, it's even better. Ah, yes, the armored version. So I picked that up after selling and modding the previous one and just going to the next level. And of course, the styling is upgraded with the front splitter, the racing front splitter, carbon wheels, and of course the bumpy surface of the armored side doors. Of course, we've got the beautiful carbon wing and our rear diffuser. Some stuff actually is performance-based. Some stuff is more cosmetic. But she is gorgeous. She really is gorgeous. Now, ballistics tests, windows, as you can imagine, they're not that good. So you're gonna have to do a lot of maneuvering. They're not reinforced, it's just basic bulletproof glass, however basic that can be. But overall, she's about as strong as you can get with the glass area from any standard vehicle. And for the exterior shell, it seems like it's about as strong as the Kuruma. So yeah, you'll be there popping off shots for quite a while before you start doing any real serious damage. So overall, I mean, oh yeah, I forgot a little custom livery on the advanced rifle. I really dig that rifle. I really don't want anything to change the sight. I don't want to give it a scope because I like the iron sight so much when I'm doing first person run around, which for the most part, if you're running around hot and you use some sharp movement, I understand the physics model that Rockstar uses, but much better than first person, and you get used to some of the wonkiness. It's not showing, of course, other FPSs, but that's not the point. GTA is kind of an all smorgasbord type of game. So back on this, everything's still popping out the engine. The intercooler still going. I wish the intercooler would be armored, but you know, you can only go but so much with game logic. But yeah, overall, can take quite a licking ballistics wise, and this is a version 1 assault rifle for the record. It's not a Mark II. So those are other factors. And as far as the explosives, always the biggest danger, especially full server. That I was surprised by. It can take one rocket or one C4 charge, basically. So, I mean, you're still skating on thin ice. Somebody's got an oppressor, they're gonna be doing a volley barrage. So this is like some thin protection, but what you're gonna get, you got one credit. Another thing I learned, using your custom insurgent and a Pegasus insurgent, even though you're technically with Pegasus when you purchase it, are very different. You can have your custom one on the field and order a Pegasus one for an associate. So good tip, that actually helped later on. This was me almost customizing the insurgent one, the Pegasus one, a second time, not realizing what I was doing, and I had to stop myself. I still spent the 200, but I stopped.
She's looking good, but always
And of course, the LOTUS modding. Yeah, this vehicle is definitely one of my favorites. It's not armored at all. It's, to be honest, the ballistic ones that you can get in any shop or in the MOC, but it's really quick, really quick. It's basically the LOTUS Elites. And it also has a front-mounted machine gun. It helps in certain situations, you know, some quick, fast situations, like if you have to do some VIP headhunters, you can do that. You'll be working a little bit because your opponents will be on vehicles, the NPCs will be in armored vehicles themselves. So you'll just be, you know, railing on them for quite a bit until they eventually jump out. You can toss stuff out of the window, so you can use your, you know, your C4 charges, your sticky grenade charges, and again, it's just really fast, really pretty. And I ended up getting this one when it was on the sale for about $250. Regularly, it's in low 1 millions, like 1.2, 1.4, I believe. So with what it can do, I wouldn't buy it full price, but when it was on the sale, it was worth it. So that's why I have it.
Center. Budgets aren't what they used to be, but we've still got a ridiculous amount of money to spend on cool toys. I mean, operationally appropriate hardware. When jobs become available, click accept and we'll get you started. You'll be maintaining the global order while driving the most state-of-the-art weaponized vehicles available. And any equipment you use gets discounted on war stock. And that's because we trust you. So this is a good thing you're doing. Very good.
Yeah, storyline-wise, it ends up being a good thing later on, which you tend to discover after you get a facility. But they shouldn't generic names facility bunker. But for the most part, the MOC missions really help you when it comes to getting percentages off those vehicles. That's how I ended up getting one off of the Dune FAV, is it? Which is really fun to use. And I still have yet to upgrade the side gun. I'm just reminding myself now on camera, upgrade the side gun to a minigun, which there's a little debate right now on whether the minigun or the 50 cal are better. The 50 cal is stronger, a little bit slower, and sets things on fire. The minigun just rails and rips through things, through everything. Also, you know, it fires at a faster rate, so you have a less of a chance to miss. And on console, unfortunately, using the right analog with that thick dead zone that is in GTA and not really shared with a lot of other shooters or anything that uses the dual analog system for an FPS, it can be a little dicey. But yeah, it definitely works. Definitely worth it, especially if you got a single, double player, multiplayer helping you out. It's worth it. Now, what was this portion here? Oh yeah, more of the interior of using the MOC. The gun turrets, they're pretty okay. The gun turret's pretty much for the MOC and the Terabyte. They can't really angle downward too much. It's just more flat because they're on the top of these vehicles. So unlike the Avenger, which all of the guns are underneath, these are on the top, so you have a lot of movement limitations. How the hell did I even get into this mess here? What's going on outside? I don't even remember how I got into that situation. But that's one I do like that about both the MOC and the Terabytes, is that since the NPCs don't use explosives and can't use explosives for whatever reason, they're really good for hiding away from a lot of the police, all of the law. You're not gonna get out of missions with it, but it's still good nonetheless. That would be Kanisha sneaking past to go to the bathroom. Oh, here we go. Demonstrations of firepower. Dear God. Yeah, that door's not squeaky at all. So yeah, it's pretty destructive. If you got some multiplayer work going on there, that definitely helps to have multiple missiles, multiple operators. Oh my God. This thing is death on wheels. This is something I really wish they would implement in the game. We need armor access in MOCs and Terabytes. Like running back and forth to ammunition in order to get this seems a little antiquated when you have the ability to do weapons upgrades, or at least some weapons upgrades through your mobile systems, so that would be nice. Yeah, and this is just a great example of why you need armored vehicles, because all hell's gonna be breaking loose, and this shows right now what you can do in multiplayer. This is right now the person that was sneaking by the bathroom is Kanisha King. Nini, she plays on Xbox Live on GTA Hardcore also. So she's right now, she was operating the gun previously, now she's operating, she's just driving, and I'm operating the gun. And we're just raising hell, just testing these vehicles out during this whole mobile militia, I guess you could call it. There's about 3 or 4 of us. We even have one more player, Noah, is his name? Oh yeah, that's him. That's him crashing right there. So yeah, that's pretty ugly. That's pretty ugly. So yeah, the rest of this battle was, yeah. It was just raising hell everywhere. Oh my God. What was the reasoning for any of this? The screams are so violent, oh my God. Why did we even do this? And that's, there's Corey running around, and he can just jump in, and now it's 3 of us raising hell. So speaking of hell, the AI system hell. I understand that you have to write certain scripts in order to deal with the dexterity and ingenuity of live players, but there's still a huge difference between writing a complex script for your AI to react to the player and the different situations they may get themselves in, and just straight up not following any of the gameplay rules that you cause the players to follow themselves. Like, I really don't, not really too fond of gameplay systems that do this. I personally think it's a little cheap, and I also understand that there are tons of time limitations when you have a game this large, this many assets, this much collision, this many bugs, which are still present that we play and deal with because we love the game so much, but let's not act like, you know, what's not there is there. But it's just, there has to be a better way. There has to be a better way to have your AI deal with players, to write different branches, different sections of however you design your flowchart, whatever it is. But it just cannot just be straight up cheat. I can hit you. Like, look at this. This is ridiculous. This guy literally would not die because I guess the explosions were not hitting through the collision of the charged, destroyed vehicle model, even though it should have, and he was literally still alive inside. So especially the further you go with Merryweather, it can be a real fish to deal with. Even worse to deal with are these griefer trolls who use the Oppressor Mk2. Some use the Deluxo, especially because you can tell a lot of them won these things through the casino runs, the casino wheel. Fortunately, this guy ended up running out of missiles because I was using the NIGHTSHARK. And this is why you use it in folder servers, to learn lessons like this against jerks like this who have nothing better to do than make your life a living hell. So, as you can see, this was extremely gratifying. It's the best advice I can give you. If you're on a server with more than 5 people, hell, even if they're only 5 people, 3 people, stay armored. Only unless you're absolutely sure. If you're in a server where you can control the situation, probably a private server where you have only invite only permissions, then I can understand that. Or if you are just playing just for shits and giggles and you're not really gonna care too much about getting griefed or getting trolled out, then okay, cool. But just don't do it. You're gonna drive yourself crazy. I know I did. And sometimes it can just really take you out of the game because unfortunately there aren't that many balancing aspects in this title, in this game. It's been out for a long time, so I guess trying to be optimistic in that direction would be a little foolhardily at this point. Foolhardy? I'm getting the term totally messed up, I know. But it's got to be something to get done. So that's one basic solution. So wrapping up, y'all, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for everyone that participated. Kenesha King, Corey, Matt, Noah, everybody that jumped on live with us and just letting us cause hell. As we can see, me trying to fight this old lady and Kenesha forgets she has the rocket in hand. So that's all we got. Stay tuned to our next episode as Kenesha sneaks by in the kitchen again, as if I can't see her. Are you walking backwards? She's walking backwards. So y'all, enjoy. I love you all. Leave your comments at the bottom. I'm still learning more about this world, coming as more of a seasoned gamer from the 80s, 90s, old school era. And even with my background with Rockstar, with Microsoft, with Sony and many other game companies, I still keep learning more as technology progresses and we have more opportunities to be better designers, stronger designers, larger designers, smarter designers. So until then, see you soon. Thank you for tuning in once again. Have a good night. You're still watching? Bye.